What, me agreeing with the Jamaican parent that white teachers don't understand the good old-fashioned Caribbean arse whipping? Of course they don't. I'm so shocked. Just jumping on Monday, just to report one or two things that I've been seeing, because you're going to be seeing the slow drip of racism. We're going to a new phase of racism. Half of you guys have never seen this phase before, so it's all going to be new to you. So you're going to be saying, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I think what are you talking about? Oh, okay. So, part of racism is to even deny that you exist, is to conveniently forget everything that you've been through. So if we're going to talk about the black experience in the UK, we really need to be getting on to the people that experience the negativity, right? And the descendants of those young people that experience the negativity, right? And so we want to be talking to any descendants of Stephen Lawrence or Dwayne Brooks. Dwayne Brooks, where are your kids, man? What's happening with your kids, Dwayne Brooks? Everything all right? Are they experiencing the same sort of racism that got you chased up the road when you was jamming with Stephen Lawrence? What about all the guys from Brixton? What about the grandkids of the people that were on Brixton front line? What happened to the descendants? What happened to the grandkids then? What not to say? No, we don't do that. We don't go and speak to them. We go and speak to the Freshies. The Freshies don't know anything. The Freshies are generation number one. They're finding their way in this country, they're all wide-eyed. Let's get a view of the Freshies. The Freshies don't know about being bundled into no Black Mariah. The Freshies don't know about getting chased down the road by the old bill. The Freshies are running around going, oh, this is England. And guess what? The police well know the difference between us and the Freshies. Oh yeah, they do. Some don't. Of course, you're going to have ignorant English racist coppers who just, them brown, You're going to get that level, of course you're going to get that base level of ignorance, but the whole point I've been trying to let you know is that there is a sophisticated type of racism going down. A sophisticated, right, type of racism going down pertaining to a particular bloodline, pertaining to a particular genetic origin of individual. Yeah, and they don't care about the other ones. They don't care about the Freshies. The Freshies they're not scared of the Freshies. What do you mean? You're being racist against you're being racist. In my opinion, never in any of my time in this country have so many European English people come to tell black people when they're being racist. It is the height of arrogance. You see, what you're experiencing there, that's not actually racism, it's in the mind. There are various forms of prejudice that exist, yes, but is it racism? How can you prove that that's racism? I can go into the person's head when they're going nigger, 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 and I can say, see, look, there they go, see? Like that other yellow thing with an afro that shouldn't really have an afro, that should really get punched in the mouth the first time around polite black society. That yellow thing, yeah? Why is it allowed to talk? Why are you letting it talk? Why are you letting it speak? Oh, of course, we're not letting it speak. Who's letting it speak? White society is letting the yellow thing with the afro speak, right? And get traction, right? Not us, not from our community. Remember, my community is Robin Walker. That's our historian. The BBC are trying to give us David Olusogu. I don't know who David Olusogu is. I know who Robin Walker is because he's been doing the lectures and he's been in the manor. In America, you'll have Brooklyn, you have the Bronx, and certain brothers will be going around doing the lectures in those areas, and you'll know about them first before they ever hit the mainstream. No. In England, where they try and come and superimpose their Cambridge graduates on top of our scene, right? Oh, watch out for the Cambridge graduates. Watch out for the Cambridge graduates. Watch out for the Cambridge graduates. I'll say it slowly. Watch out for the Cambridge graduate. The environment where MI5 recruit all of their spies from. The people that will stay with the struggle for 10, 20, 30 years in the hope of getting a knighthood towards the end. Yeah? Ultimate betrayal. They're going to use Freshies, right? They're going to use the people that have been educated from their own institutions, superimpose them on top of the organisation, or they're going to try and use Freshies. What do I mean? I'm not horrible. Look, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I sympathise with the plight of the Freshie. Yeah, right. But the plight of the Freshie is not the plight. It's a plight. Do you understand what I'm saying? What you mean? Well, here's a BBC article about racism, about how young black boys are dealing with racism. Which young black boys, you say? What you mean, the descendants of the kids from the Brixton riots? Because wouldn't you want to know what the kids from the Brixton riots and the Tottenham riots are thinking like now? Wouldn't you want to know that? Isn't that the pertinent thing? Isn't that the pertinent bloodline of individuals to be? No. We got to ignore all of those guys. We got to look for every... Oh, not much has changed for us, says the Freshie. Freshie, you've only been here for 5 minutes. How do you know not much has changed? Unless someone older told you, like us lot did. Go on, Michael.
Being, and no one else can tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
The colour of my skin.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of situations and inequalities in Britain.
Yeah.
Not just with police brutality, but even with just like inequalities within healthcare.
Being a young person isn't easy. We've got a lot of things in our minds, and you know, a little bit of.
This kid damn looks Mexican. Ain't got no Mexicans over here in the UK. This kid's a full Mexican. I don't know where he's from. He looks kind of Mexican though, doesn't he?
Understanding would definitely go a long way, especially with how maybe it could change our opinion of the people.
What kind of black boy's got straight hair like that anyway? Where's he from? Madagascar or something like that anyway? You know he ain't from no Caribbean islands.
Police officers, you know, around this area.
Young black people, we just want to kind of know like what world we're living in, be more aware of where we are basically, and see what we can do to help.
Right. Policing is complex and challenging, and we strive to ensure we are fair and just. Metropolitan Police. Fair and just at what? Dispensing the beatings and the killings. Fair and just about dispensing the beatings and killings among black people. All black people will get the beatings and the killings. Well, work it out. Remember, English is a language within a language. You can make a statement meaning something, pointing something, and be pointing completely in the opposite direction. Okay? You could make a statement inferring that you're pointing here, and the meaning is diametrically opposed to what people initially think you're saying. That's English. That's how the English language can work for you. Part 1. Hold on a second. I've got a lovely, lovely little part 2 for you as well. Hang on. Right, you know the Tony Sewell report that came out, that pretty much roundly condemned as a racist report from the Tories. Well, guess what? United Nations experts condemn shocking race report and call for a commission to be scrapped. White supremacy has been, since about 2018, operating in its own little bubble of understanding. Okay? What do I mean? You get enough white supremacists together and you all agree on an understanding, and that is now the understanding. The sky is purple. Well, I say the sky's purple. Well, of course, the sky, I mean, what, you know, the sky's purple. What, I mean, what else would you think? Well, the sky's purple, and for you to assume anything else is, and now everyone's saying the sky's purple. You go outside, you look up, the sky is blue. But the white supremacists have all had their little powwow, and they determined that the sky was purple. No, and we have to move on. No, don't you understand? We're all professionals here. So, the thing about coming to your summations and your determinations as a racist collective, the thing about coming to your decisions as a racist collective is that only works in a very small environment for a very short period of time. Once anybody else outside gets wind of what you decided as a collective, like let's say for instance if you decided to fire a black male teacher for being racist against a Jamaican parent, right? And everybody knows that I'm the guy that fights the white racist teachers. As soon as people start to find out, they're going to be like, hang on a second, sir though, what, racist against the black parents? Only a racist of the highest arrogance could come to that determination. You don't believe that they come to that determination. I see what it is. You don't believe that some people are so racist they could think something that stupid and come to that determination. You don't think that's possible. What if I was to say that I've got it recorded? What if I was to say that I've got the understanding recorded?
Okay, so do I get to ask them, do you believe that old-fashioned carrying answers is appropriate language for people to use? Yeah. I'm just so shocked.
What, a Jamaican parent? What, me agreeing with a Jamaican parent that white teachers don't understand the good old-fashioned Caribbean arse whipping? Of course they don't. I'm so shocked. But this is what they do. When they're by themselves, they have their little powwow. All white people. I'm so shocked. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a little excerpt from the Board of Governors. The white Board of Governors that fired a black man for being racist to a black parent. White Board and the Governors came to that conclusion. Don't look surprised that it can happen, because that's what's been going on. They come to their own conclusion. But when it comes outside now, anything outside of their narrow confines of limited rationale, right? United Nations experts condemn shocking. They said it's shocking. It is stunning to read a report on race and ethnicity that repackages racist tropes and stereotypes into fact. Woo! Wow. So they got hold of it. Forget me going over it. The United Nations has gone over that race report. An arm of the United Nations has condemned the shocking Race Commission report ordered by Boris Johnson and called for the body to be scrapped. The widely criticised study is attacked for ignoring racial disparities and for shifting the blame for impacts of racism to the people most impacted by it. No way! You mean white people are blaming black people for the racism that they're experiencing? No way! Very, 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 very old tactic. In 2021, it is stunning to read a report on race and ethnicity that repackages racist tropes and stereotypes into fact, twisting data and misapplying statistics and studies, say experts from the UN Human Rights Council. Tony Sewell, you're a coon, Boone Coon, and everybody else. And the funny thing is, there was an array of people. If I can find it, let's see if I can find it quickly. No, I don't want to find Tariq Nasheed and his white grandmother's ass. Black power! Sorry. Black power! Alright, so Tony Sewell and the Coconut Soldiers. Right, now these are the researchers that helped Tony Sewell. Not too much to say about all of them, apart from how dare you, disgusting. But then we go to this Kenyan-born researcher over here who was 22 years old. As soon as this Kenyan-born researcher, Mate, I spent more time in a job than you've been alive on the planet. But you've contributed, this 22-year-old Kenyan researcher has contributed towards a whole load, this dry, chalky face thing, this weave-wearing thing, and a group of other Asians and Tony Sewell. Look, man, you could just look at that from the beginning and know that it was not going to be a bona fide report. However, what's the UN saying? The UN saying, like, give me a break. It's laughable. It's a joke. In 2021, it's stunning to read a report on race and ethnicity that repackages racist tropes and stereotypes into fact, twisting data and misapplying statistics and studies, says experts from the UN Human Rights Council. They conclude, the reality is that people of African descent continue to experience poor economic, social and health outcomes at vastly disproportionate rates in the UK. The statement also attacks the report's mythical representation of enslavement is an attempt to sanitize the history of trade in enslaved Africans. Notoriously, it pointed to a news story about the Caribbean experience, which speaks to the slave period not only being about profit and suffering, but how culturally African people transformed themselves into a remodeled African Britain. So we lost a culture to fully embrace a culture worth 10%, 5% at most. That makes no sense whatsoever. The experts say this is a reprehensible, although not unfamiliar tactic employed by many whose wealth came directly from the enslavement of others ever since slavery was outlawed. Do you mean to say this tactic, this reprehensible tactic, is not unfamiliar? It's not unfamiliar. What? You mean you guys powwowing and creating your own racist understanding from all the information that you heard, which points to you guys being a load of racist bastards. You guys taking all that information and saying, no, actually it's the other way. You mean that's not unfamiliar? Oh, where have I experienced that in my life? Oh yeah, my last job. The attack was the latest in an onslaught of criticism since the Commission on Race and Ethnic Disparities, compiled by a panel of hand-picked by Number 10, was released 3 weeks ago. Hand-picked panel, yeah? Hand-picked Negroes. There's your hand-picked right there. There's your hand-picked. Tony Sewell and the Coconut Soldiers, the team behind the review. There's your hand-picked right there. Those are people that are hand-picked by government. All of your faces were hand-picked by government because they trusted that you would be the sellout that you are. I heard this woman on TV, this one here, this scaly face, chalky face thing, yeah? You could take her face and write on the chalkboard about, oh no, people have come to the wrong conclusion about what we came to the conclusion about. What? We can read. It concluded racial injustice still exists, but rejected the concept of institutional racism and argued geography, family, socioeconomic background, culture and religion have more impact on life's chances. That's why the racism has been going off the charts. That's why people have been trying to get away with what they've been getting away with. That's how a group of white people could sit around a table and say that I'm racist against black people and I'm the most hardcore black teacher in the school, hates his own people and loves white people. And on that basis, we need to get rid of him. That's what the white teachers concluded about the most pro-black teacher in the school. That I thought less of my own people and deferred to white people and thought more of them. We can't have that. Don't worry. Any part you don't believe, in the next video, I'll play an excerpt of the audio proving that. The governing board of a school in North London. A British Medical Association rejected the central argument that structural racism is not a major factor affecting the lives of many ethnic minority citizens, because it is. The UN body said it blames single parents for poor outcomes, ignoring the racial disparities and radicalized nature of poor outcomes that exist despite an increased prevalence of single-parent families. And it attacks the conclusion that while there might be overt acts of racism in the UK, there is no institutional racism. The report offers no evidence for this claim, but openly blames identity politics, disparages complex analysis of race and ethnicity, the statement argues. So, the report offers no evidence for this claim, but openly blames identity politics, disparages complex analysis of race and ethnicity, the statement said. Wow, so it disparages complex analysis of race and ethnicity. So when you get deep down into it, and you start being, they're like, you don't need to be doing all of that. Don't you think you're going a bit far? That's what it's telling you. It proffers shocking misstatements and misunderstandings about data collection and mixed methods research, cites pessimism, linguistic inflation, and emotion. Oh wow, what a word! Linguistic inflation. Oh wow, that's a wow. What a way to describe that recording that I've got. Linguistic inflation and emotion, and basis to distrust data and narratives associated with racism and racial discrimination, and attempts to delegitimize data grounded in lived experience while also shifting the blame for the impacts of racism to the people most impacted by it, the experts argue. Wow, this is like my old school. It proffers shocking misstatements and or misunderstandings about data collection and mixed methods research, cites pessimism, linguistic inflation, and emotion as basis to distrust data and narratives associated with racism and racial discrimination, and attempts to delegitimize data grounded in lived experience, while also shifting the blame for the impacts of racism to the people most impacted by it. This is that's how racists do. Oh, of course, I've experienced this. I 100%. But isn't it? I mean, obviously, I've experienced racism and I know racism exists, but it's always a bit weird to hear racism described by someone else, where it 100% mirrors your personal experience. It's always weird to hear that, because it's like, that's what they do. Yes, they do that. That's what they do. That's what I'm like inside. The commission should be disbanded or reconstituted to prioritize an authentic and rigorous examination of race rather than a politicized erasure of the racialized realities Black Britons navigate. 100%. So there you go. Not only was it bullshit, not only were the people involved boon coons, not only was Tony Sewell a dick and a sellout of the highest order, not only was Boris Johnson a moron for trying to jiggery-pokery and amend that report, as soon as it gets viewed by any intellect outside your narrow confines of racial coonery, it gets destroyed as being shocking, as people, oh my God, in 2021, this is what they're getting away with. Remember, you still got to go gym. You still got to go gym. Understand this. We're in a time when the racists will be getting away with whatever they're getting away with and just standing on their ground. No. Yeah, there's going to be base racism, and they're just going to be, yeah, there's not but one, there's no institutional racism because the report came out denying that there was any institutional racism, and they're going to double down on the racism. So expect more. This Monday, a lot of people should have been getting a hell of a lot more racism because there's going to be dickheads out there that are 100% rolling with this. Forget us looking at stuff, seeing the lay of the land. There's dickheads out there, okay, that just 100% have taken this on board and now running, there is no racism in the UK, and they're moving forward. And there's black people that are moving forward with this as well. United Nations experts condemn shocking race report and call for commission to be scrapped. That's what happens when your racist little powwow goes off the reservation and other people get to know. They go, shut up, you're being racist. But that's where we are right now, and it's set to get worse.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not.